Could Lois Lerner's next public appearance be before a judge? That could be on the table now, again invoking her Fifth Amendment right repeatedly.
My counsel has advised me that I have not waived my constitutional rights under the Fifth Amendment, and on his advice, I will decline to answer any question on the subject matter of this hearing. On the advice of my counsel, I respectfully exercise my Fifth Amendment right and decline to answer that question. On the advice of my counsel, I respectfully exercise my Fifth Amendment right and decline to answer that question. On the advice of my counsel, I respectfully exercise my Fifth Amendment right and decline to answer that question.
Republican Trey Gowdy sits on the House Oversight Committee. He's my guest now, sir, and welcome back here. I know you expected her to talk either yesterday or next Wednesday, and I'm not sure when it will happen or if it will. I know you're a former federal prosecutor, and you said last night with Martha you did that for 16 years. Trust me, we can get her to talk. How?
Well, she needs to have a conversation with her attorney and make sure he understands he's not the star. It's her life and her reputation and her career on the line. And what she ought to do is come in under a proffer, not immunity. That's not going to happen, but under a proffer. Because, Bill, everyone else around her is talking, and she's going to be the last one to the party. And let me just tell you, in a criminal investigation or a quasi-criminal investigation, you do not want to be the last one to come to the party. So if she would get some competent legal counsel, she would come in and give a proffer. But to ask for immunity is just absurd.
Darrell Issa suggested last night here on Fox that you've reached a dead end. Have you?
Well, I mean, last time I talked to you, I was equally certain that she was going to testify because her attorney said she would. So there are no dead ends. She could call today and say, you know what, I want to tell you what I did and why I did it under a proffer, and we would do that this afternoon. But where we're headed now is for contempt of Congress, and she'll go down in the annals of history as a government official who ended her career being disciplined on the House floor, or worse, or prosecuted for contempt of Congress because she did waive.
But even if that is the case, then, if that's the way the course goes for her, does that put an end to this investigation as to what happened with these conservative groups in the IRS going back 4 years?
No, sir. There are other witnesses. In fact, Bill, you don't have 5 minutes, and I wouldn't take it if you did, but if you gave me 5 minutes, not using a single bit of testimony from her, I could prove to you what happened and why it happened. And the important part is the why. Why did they target conservative groups? If she had testified yesterday, I would have spent my 5 minutes laying out for your viewers why this happened. We're going to be able to do that with or without her help, but she needs to come in and save herself and ignore her lawyer's advice.
The president said there's not a smidgen of corruption. It's not there.
Yeah, but you didn't believe him when he said it, and I didn't either.
Well, it leads you to the question as to why you invoked the Fifth Amendment. This is the exchange that occurred just about 24 hours ago with Darrell Issa and Elijah Cummings. I want to listen to this and talk to you about it.
For the past year, the central Republican accusation in this investigation, we're adjourned, close it down. But if you will sit down and allow me to ask the question, I am a member of the Congress of the United States of America. I am tired of this. Well, we have members over here, each who represent 700,000 people. You cannot just have a one-sided investigation. There is absolutely something wrong with that, and it is absolutely un-American.
We had a hearing. It was adjourned. I gave you an opportunity to ask a question. You had no question.
Now, to those who would say that Elijah Cummings was not treated fairly or given a chance to make a statement or even ask a question, what would you say?
Well, I mean, I'm never afraid of debate. I'd still be sitting there if that were an opportunity. I would have loved to have had the opportunity to convince Mr. Cummings and my other Democrat colleagues that our central accusation that this did not arise in Ohio is factually true. I really hate it because of your viewers and those that were targeted by the IRS because they were denied yet another opportunity to get answers. I don't think anybody really cares about congressmen arguing with each other. That happens from time to time. I think they tuned in to see if she would provide some insight into what happened and why. And from that standpoint, I'm disappointed that your viewers were denied that opportunity.
Listen, one more question on this, because the House Speaker seemed to think that, he's on your side. If she doesn't answer questions, she could be held in contempt. But that would take a full House vote. And then after that, I don't know what happens. Does she appear before a judge? What would happen?
Well, the case would be referred to the U.S. Attorney, and the U.S. Attorney would then prosecute contempt of Congress. There's another form of contempt that is a little more arcane. It's called the inherent power of the House to discipline people. I don't think we're going to go that route. We would go the same route we went with Eric Holder, which means that it would be litigated in court. But Bill, on the issue of waiver and why the Speaker is going to agree with us, think back to May of 2013 when she first came. She made 17 separate factual assertions. That's a lot of talking for somebody who wanted to remain silent, don't you think? No. 17 separate factual assertions, and you can stand with a straight face and say, I preserve my right to remain silent? That's absurd, and legally they would lose. But they would lose 2 years from now, and your viewers still would not have the answer.
So in a word, you're saying this is not over, right?
Oh, heavens, no. No, sir. If I could sing, I would sing. We've only just begun.
Trey Gowdy, thank you for your time. Republican from South Carolina. Thank you.
Thank you.